So welcome to our combination yoga, combo yoga and QiGong class. And I invite you to start off by sitting down in a very comfortable position and closing your eyes. And if you want to sit in a chair, go ahead and sit in a chair. But you could sit on your yoga mat as well. Eventually, probably we will come down to the yoga mat right after we're sitting. So you might want to start off sitting on your yoga mat. So I just like to take the these first few minutes of our class by giving all of us the opportunity to tune into ourselves, to tune in what's going on within. So I invite you, like I said, I don't know if I've said it actually, to close down your eyes or just look towards the earth if you feel uncomfortable closing your eyes. I don't think anybody really does who takes this class, but you never can tell. Anyway, so, and then go ahead and just kind of slump forward a little bit. Like you're almost going into a forward bend, bringing your chin into your chest. And so your back will be gently curved. And then from here, just start stacking each vertebrae on top of one another. Easy does it until you feel that your back is nice and straight, but comfortable. Straight but not rigid. And the chin is parallel to the ground and slightly tucked back. You just feel how the breath circulates around your body. During that breath. And then just gently move back and forth. Rocking gently back and forth. Or moving in any way that feels right, but slow and easy movements. Relaxed. And then come on back to stillness. Just pause for a moment here and check out how you're feeling today. How you're feeling at this given time. And bring that sense of stillness all the way from your head down to your feet. A relaxed stillness. Rest. And let's go ahead and open up our eyes gently. And we'll start our movement by bringing our hands around and out and forward. So when we come around, we try as much as we can to roll over our sitting bones and keep our back straight. And we'll bring our hands right into around our heart. And we're making circles with our hands. Just two-dimensional circles, I guess, area. not deep. So the circle is all flat. That's an easier way to say it. Circling the hands around and back and back. And you can turn your head to one side and then the other. As you circle around. Feeling this lovely movement. And my clock right now says 1:43 which is a Mr. Rogers, or Mr. Rogers numbers. It means I love you. I is 1, love is 4, and you is 3. I think that's so sweet. Okay, and so now what we'll do is we'll slow it down a little bit and bring our left hand in and then our right hand. So we'll change the flow. And so you want to bring that, when you bring your hand in, you bring it right to your heart. And you can look, when you turn to the right, you can look towards the left. Feel a lovely rotation in your spine. Just tuning into how you're feeling today. And then we'll come back to that original, both hands moving, not in the same direction, but like each other. Opposite directions, but on the same plane at the same time. Nice. And then we'll come on back here. And let's just start. We've done this before. We'll start with our 90-90, our 90-90 hip opener. So bring your knee out. Your knee will go up. I have my left knee. Well, I have my right knee, but I'll be a mirror image. So your left knee will be in front, lined up with the hip and the 90-degree angle at that knee. And then the right knee behind you. Again, so that the knee and the hip are lined up and there's a 90-degree angle. So the heel and the knee are lined up. And so this time what we're going to do is grab hold of the arch of our foot with the arch of our right foot with our right hand and turn towards the right. And then grab hold of the ankle with the left hand and turn towards the left. Then we'll come over that leg. First actually, this is what we're going to do. We're going to first have our arms open wide and come onto our fingertips and come down over that front leg as much as it feels comfortable. And then walk back in. Nice. And then we'll switch on over to the other side. So that, as close as you can get all of this into a 90-degree angle, it might be difficult for some of us. But so the knees and the hips are lined up, and the heel and the knees are lined up. And there's a 90-degree angle at the knee. And so first we'll grab hold of the right foot with the right hand and turn towards the right. Keeping our shoulders relaxed. And then we'll come on over to the other side and grab hold of the ankle with the left hand and come and turn towards the left. I'm sorry, the right. And then come on back. And now we'll come over that front foot, that front shin, and bring our hands all the way out to the side, which makes it easier to come forward, perhaps. And you can play with the position of your hands if you want to bring them in a little closer, do so. And just breathe here. And then walk back in and come on around. And so, since we have warmed up our hips here, let's go ahead and go right on into a pigeon pose, because our hips are a little bit warmed up. And if you know that pigeon pose is a little difficult, then do the 90-90 again. Otherwise, just come onto all fours and lift up into down dog. And then bring your right hand over by your right foot over by your left hand and your right knee by your right hand. And then we'll just go into a pigeon pose here. And you can come down onto your elbows if you'd like. And even maybe bring your forehead towards the ground. And relax those shoulders out. And then walk your hands back in. Curl the back toe under and lift up. And bring the other leg forward, the left leg forward. So the left foot is by the right hand and the left knee is by the left hand. And then from here, we can come to our elbows perhaps, maybe bring our head down towards the earth. And then come on back, just a quick little pigeon there. And curl the back toe under and let's lift into downward dog. And breathe. Breathe here. Now look on up at your hands and walk on up to your hands. And inhale into our flat back position. Exhale, deepen the fold. Deepen the fold. And then bring your arms out to the side and up and over your head and down into prayer pose. Very nice. Okay, so let's do a few of our wonderful sun salutations that get our whole body moving. And you can always modify this. I'm going to close a curtain here. You can always modify this little flow that we're going to do by if downward dog is too difficult, you can always use a wall. So, or even the side of the couch, and do something like this to help stretch your back out a bit. So, inhale out and up. Exhale, lead with the heart. Inhale halfway, exhale deepen. Bend your knees, and we'll step straight back with our left foot and curl the left toe under and reach on up into crescent pose. Now try to press your heel back just a little bit so you stretch out the calf muscle a bit there. And then if you want to lift up that heel a little bit more, we'll bring our hands forward. So take our right hand and slide it across the left arm and do a little crescent twist. Breathing. And then come down by the front foot and step back into down dog. Now this can be anybody, all of our choice. We can stay in down dog. We can come to all fours. Actually, let's all come to all fours. There's an easy way to come down onto our belly, onto our front body by just rolling down, letting the thighs come down, then the hips come down, then the chest, all the way down. And then bring your hands down by your floating ribs and just come up into a really gentle cobra and come back down. And then from here, bend your knees and push yourself up kind of the same way, the reverse way that we came down. And let's just come on into all fours for a moment. And just easy does it. Inhale, looking up to the sky. Exhale, rolling the back up, chin to the chest. Inhale 3 times. We'll do it 3 times all together. Third time here, inhaling and then exhaling and coming back to a neutral position.
curl the toes under and lift into down dog and look on up at your hands. And walk up or hop up. And then inhale halfway, exhale deepen, and bend your knees or keep your legs straight. Your hamstrings say that's okay. And then come all the way up and over and down. And then we'll go on over to the other side. We'll do something similar on the other side. So inhale out and up. Exhale, coming on down. Inhale halfway, exhale deepen, bend your knees, step back with your right foot this time. And have the right toe curled under. Then we'll sweep on up into a nice crescent pose. And you can press that heel down towards the earth to feel a little bit more. I usually don't do that so much in crescent. So I'm going to do it today just to feel that lovely stretch in the calf muscle. And then bring my arms forward and take my left hand, slide it along my right arm, and have a little bit of a twist in our crescent pose. A crescent twist. And then we'll come all the way over. And we're going to come back onto all fours. And this time, so I'm going to do a little, let's see, a little easing into a full plank pose here. So this time, instead of rolling down onto our thighs first, we'll come forward, bend our elbows, and come down, trying to touch our chest between our hands before anything else. So our butt will be up in the air. And then we let our bottom come down, and this time, instead of cobra, we'll come into a locust by lifting up our hands, our arms, and our legs. Either both all together or one at a time, whatever feels right for each one of us. And then come down, hands by the floating ribs, and knees, and see if we can lift ourselves straight up. And you can feel how this engages more of the upper body muscles. And curl the toes under. And look on up at your hands. Curl the toes under, come to down dog, look on up at your hands, and walk upward, hop up. Then inhale halfway, exhale deepen. And either bending the knees or keeping the legs straight will come all the way up, arms out, and back into prayer pose. Okay, so one more time with this. Inhale out and up. Exhale, lead with the heart. Inhale halfway. Exhale, deepen. And this time, bring your hands down by your feet and step back into plank pose, full plank. Now, if you know that full plank is too much, just bring your knees down, but we'll work with full plank. And so have your feet a little bit apart, about hip distance apart. Engage all of your core muscles. Bend your elbows just a little bit and let your body descend, keeping it straight, and then come back up again. And then if you can, bend your elbows and come all the way down, letting the chest touch first, if it's available. And then flatten the feet. And let's lift up into cobra again. Inhale up, pressing the pubic bone into the mat and letting your shoulders relax away from your ears. And then coming down. And either curling the toes under or bending your knees, push yourself up and back into down dog. Nice. And then we can look on up at our hands and step up or maybe hop up. And inhale halfway. Exhale, deepen. And then bending the knees or keeping the legs straight, arms out and up. And down. Okay, so here's my blocks right here. So let's go ahead and grab hold of have a block handy if we need it. We know we need it.
And so let's just start opening up our legs nice and wide here. And we'll turn everything to the right. So back foot turns in and the front foot is as straight as you can get it so you can look down and check. And open up the arms. Bend the, you should have the block hand in between. So bend the knees. Come into warrior two, and then peaceful warrior. Excuse me. And come back, and then straighten that front leg and come into triangle pose. You can use your block if you'd like. You have your block there, or just rest your hand above or below your knee, wherever it feels right. And then from here, sweep your, let's see, so sweep your left arm around and bring it on the block or your leg, and then start turning to the right. Press the back heel firmly into the mat. And if it's available, lift up your arm. And come back down and come all the way back up through triangle pose. Bring both feet forward and have both feet, they can be in any way that feels good, maybe facing outward or straight ahead. And then we'll inhale, lift up, and exhale, fold on over. Now take your right hand and grab hold of your left ankle and stretch your left arm out in front of you so that you can look under your left arm. Getting a nice twist here. And then come on back and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So grab hold of your right ankle with your left hand. Let your right arm come out and look under that. And then come on back and walk your hands back underneath you. And see how, if you can walk your hands behind you. I'll stand this way, like this. Just let that head relax down. And even here, just feel that your shoulders are relaxed. And the reason I'm saying that is because I noticed that mine weren't. And then take your hands on the small of your back and push into it. And as you inhale, that can help you lift up. And then heel toe your feet together. And then let's just sway it all out. Sway it out. Easy does it. Feel a sense of ease as you're doing this. I hope this feels really, really good. And and so let's do a little bit of tapping now too. So take your left hand and bring it as far over to the right as you can, down by the groin, as you can, as it feels comfortable. And then we get the groin and come across and just tap all those internal organs around the chest, the shoulders, the neck, And then get under your arm. With your palm facing up to the sky, come down. This is considered the yin side of your arm. Then when you point the palm down, come up yang side of your arm, which is a really good illustration that yin and yang create oneness. So the left and the right, together it's one. Up and down, back and front. All one. It kind of goes along with the theme that we're all in this together. Under the arm, and then palm facing up, come down to your fingertips. And as you're standing, I make sure your knees are soft and not locked. And then we'll get our head. And our back. And then, so once we've gotten our back and our tush, let's come up our kidney channel. And then come down our kidney channel, up to the top of the kidney channel, then come down. And continuing, we get down, come down the outside of our legs to our heels, and then up the inside of our legs to the top of our legs, and then down the back side of our legs. To the heel, and then from the toes on up the front of the legs. This is just getting all the energy, all the chi moving around. As much as possible, we don't want stagnant chi. So do a little extra right here at the groin, right at the bikini line. Lots of lymph nodes there. And then lift up your heels and drop them down, and you can flick your wrists. Okie doke. Let's see. I just thought of something that went away from my mind of a movement that I wanted to do. Oh, I know. So this is good for our memory. So we just cross our arms over each other and pull gently on our earlobes. Just nice and gently. Like 3 times, just 1, 2, 3, really gently, and then the other side. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Okay. So last week we worked on, did we? Yeah, we did. On eagle pose, I believe, as a balancing pose. And so now I'm going to do another little balancing pose. Everybody did so well with eagle that I think I'm kind of encouraged that we can do this. And let's see. So this is where we're going. So let's go ahead and just go into a simple chair pose. So you're going to pull back on the groin, trying to keep your knees behind your, aligned with your heels behind your toes as much as possible. So we'll start with a simple chair pose and bring our hands into our heart center. And then we'll lift up our left foot and see if we can just rest that left ankle on the right knee. And if that feels too much, just bring the foot next to your ankle, or make sure you just have something close by that you can rest your hand on. One breath. And then lift on up and release it. Beautiful. And let's just sway it out a little bit. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So, bend the knees, bring the other ankle over the other knee, the right ankle over the left knee. You can keep your hands in prayer pose, or if you want to open up your arms, go ahead. Back into prayer pose. Beautiful. And then release it. Nice. So the chair pose, we get the benefit of working those core muscles with chair pose. Actually, let's do maybe an easier version, although maybe, I guess it depends on each of our bodies. Do you think this is easy or not? So, so let's go into chair pose again and really concentrate on engaging, lifting the pelvic floor. And of course, we'll engage the abs and also the tush. So really think of, I really want to bring some special attention into the pelvic floor here. And our arms will come over our head at first. And while you're here, lift up your toes and relax those toes and let them come down to your mat. And then bring your hands into prayer pose and turn to the right. And you know, traditionally they said you want to keep your knees together, but I've also heard that it's just fine to let the right knee come back and the left knee go forward. Some people think it's preferable. So you do what feels right for you. And you can rest your elbow on top of that knee and press your hands into each other. And you notice that will help you lift up your upper body. And then if you'd like, you can open up your arms nice and wide. Open up one palm, some fingers pointing down and the right pointing up, or the left fingers pointing up. And then we'll come back. Now, if you need to come out of it, we'll take a breath and you can straighten your legs, or you can stay here and just go all the way over to the other side, to the right, to the left side. And press your hands into each other so that you can feel that lift. You can feel it lift your upper body. And then if it feels right, you can open up your arms. And breathe. You don't need to. And then come back into a chair pose. Press your feet into the mat and lift yourself on up. Bring your arms out and up and over your head and down into heart center. And so let's move our shoulders around a little bit. Actually, yeah, let's just do our shoulders a little bit. One way, and then the other, and open up nice and wide. And when you do this, you know, this is so interesting. So just do it, you know, when you first do it, at least for me, I'm basically using just my arms. And then if I use my shoulder blades to pull my arms back, it feels like a completely different movement. I really open up through my chest there and feel energy in my shoulder blades, and then turn the palms down. Nice. And then we'll rotate our hips. Get those hip joints, those where that ball and socket where the femur meets the pelvis. Get them, that joint lubricated, and then the other way. Okay, and so now let's come on down to our mats. And we'll start with our legs open nice and wide. And actually, it might be nice to have a block close by. So first, let's sit up like we did earlier, nice and straight. We could actually do it by kind of slumping and then feeling our vertebrae just stack on top of each other. But the chin is parallel to the ground, so I'm not going to open up like this. Keep it parallel to the ground. And just feel a beautiful, beautiful straight spine there. Shoulders nice and relaxed. And then what we'll do here is we're going to bring our left hand outside of our right leg. And maybe you can grab hold of the outside of the foot. Maybe you can grab hold of the outside of the calf muscle, wherever you can grab hold of. Go ahead and give yourself a little turn here. Nice, and then we'll come on over. Actually, we'll just stay here and we'll slide the right arm down the right leg and come up and over. And really open up that upper shoulder, that right shoulder. Look above, so you get a gentle back bend there, a bit of a back bend. And then we'll come on up. And so, same thing on the other side. Right hand grabs hold of the left leg. And come down over that leg, do a forward bend. And breathe. And then we'll grab hold of the leg, the left leg with the left arm, and bring the right arm up over our head. And come on back to center. And then we have the block here if you need it. Have it out in front of you as we go down, rotating over the hips so that our back stays straight at first, as much as we can. And maybe we can go into a forward fold and rest our forehead on something. Your fists, a block, and then perhaps you can come a little bit lower. As low as you can, as low as it feels comfortable for you. And just bring your arms forward or in any way that feels right. And take another breath here and actually relax into this. Relax into this. Maybe pull your feet back a little bit, but whatever position that you have with your legs, after you found that position, relax into it. Beautiful. And then take your hands and walk yourself back on up. And then grab hold behind your thighs and lift up your legs. And then what we'll do is we'll get our blanket or whatever. You don't need to do this to have a blanket. We're just going to come onto our knees and we'll do a little back bend here. We'll do a little bit of a back bend, a camel pose. And so there's several movement ways you can do this. You can just have your hands here to lift up and back, or you can put your hands like this, or maybe you can bring your hands down onto your heels with your toes curled under, or with your feet flat on the ground. So we'll do it twice, and you go into the way that feels right for you. And what I'd love for you to do, so what we'll do to go into it is we'll lift up our sternum, lift up through our heart, and we don't want our head to fall back. I think for me, that feels really uncomfortable. So it's like you're lifting your head up and forward. up, I don't, not about forward, but we're just not letting the head drop back. I think that it just feels too scrunchy on my neck. And then we'll come on up. And if you want to go into an easier way with the second one, do, or a little bit more challenge, or the same one, your choice. So again, so what, I'd love the feeling to be like this instead of dropping the head back. I think that feels very uncomfortable for myself. So let's inhale, lift on up, and exhale, come on back. This really opens up the front body. And then come on back up. And we'll come into easy pose for just a little bit again. And to just give our neck a little bit of release here. So come on back, and having your shoulders nice and relaxed, let's just turn our head from side to side. And just easy does it. Inhaling as you go to the left, and exhaling as you go to the right. And this is something, if you ever have like a little, as they say, a crick in your neck, this is a wonderful way to loosen it up. Going from side, side, side. And then we'll come back to center. Let our right ear come towards our right shoulder. Breathing, keeping our body as straight as we can. You can take your left arm, kind of left hand, fingers, and sort of walk them away on the floor. You might be able to feel a little bit more of a stretch here. And then walk your hands back in. Gently lift up your neck, coming back, and then the other side. And again, you can take your fingers out, stretch your arm out, have your fingers walk away from you. So we're lining up the hand with the hip. And walk the fingers back on in. Let's just move our head back and forth a couple more times. Now, it's going to be time to come lying down onto our mats. And so come to the center of your mat, and you can, two different ways. You can bring your elbows behind you and just roll gently back, which is a wonderful thing to do since we're coming to Shavasana. Or you can engage all of those core muscles and roll back with as much control as you want or as is available. So come lying down onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. And let's just rotate our ankles, our feet around our ankles in one direction and then in the other. And then open up your arms and roll on over to one side to a really easy does it twist, looking over your shoulder. If that feels right for your neck, if your knees are to the right, looking over your left shoulder, if it doesn't feel right, then look straight up. And breathe. You can take your right hand and put it on your upper thigh there. But relax into this twist. And you can just let go. And as you relax into it, you might find that you go into it a tiny little bit deeper, but a gentle deepness. Nice gentle deepness. Then turn your head back to center. If it isn't there already, release your hand. Lift up your left knee, let your right knee follow it. Pause in the center. And going over to the other side. Left hand on right thigh, if that feels right. Look over the right shoulder. But wherever you are, just relax into it. Easy does it. Closing your eyes down, possibly. And feeling a sense of ease. It really can be quite wonderful to notice that when you just relax. Sometimes you can go a little bit deeper into any position, any yoga position we do. Right now, we're focusing on the twist. And then if your hand is on your thigh, open up that arm, lift up the leg, bring your head back to center, your legs back to center. Let your feet rest on the floor. And take a nice deep breath. Feel length in the back of your head. And set yourself up for final relaxation. For our lovely, wonderful Shavasana. Conscious breathing is amazingly centering, and conscious relaxation is as well. And that's what both of those are, what Shavasana encourages us to do. To consciously breathe and consciously relax. You know, relaxation is almost mundane for what we're doing for our bodies when we still and quiet and bring that sense, that true sense of peace into our muscles, into every cell of our body. Feeling of being at peace with yourself and the world. He does it. And if you hear any other sounds, outside sounds, just let those sounds take you deeper into this ease, into this relaxation, into this peace. This relaxation into your heart, down to your, breathe it down into your whole body, into your fingertips and your toes. As you start moving your hands and your feet and fingers and toes. And of course, you can stay here if you'd like. But if you want to come on out of it, start, like I said, moving your fingers and toes and hands and feet, and then bending your knees, bringing your feet, your knees into your chest, roll on over to one side. And then take your upper hand or any way that feels wonderful for you to get yourself up into a comfortable sitting position. And into a comfortable sitting position. And I thank you all so much for joining me and for taking, all of us, for taking care of ourselves. And lots of love to you all. Namaste. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And like I said, lots and lots of love.